from Flowerhub. This afternoon I'm just going to do a quick bouquet on what my take is on a whimsical wedding bouquet. I'm going to do it all in white because I find that's really classic and beautiful. I've got some fantastic product here today. I've got the Italian ruscus. That's one bunch. I've pre-prepped that in shorter sizes and longer sizes so I can get the flow that I'm wanting from that bouquet. The Israeli ruscus I find is really so versatile and fantastic to use with the broader leaf. It's nice and straight in the stems, really flexible and fantastic to use. My other favourite greenery at the moment is the star fern. It's really quite a whimsical foliage to use, and it really gives it that romantic fall to a bouquet. I'm going to use the Antonou disbuds. I'm going to use those because you can't always get your hands on dahlias, and you know they don't travel well. So an Antonou disbud for me is a sub for a dahlia because they're so fluffy. The centre of them is magnificent. It's got that little pop of green, which I love. I've got some beautiful little sim carnations that will give me a little bit of depth in the bouquet, and of course I've got our beautiful white roses. We're all prepped and ready to go, so we're going to get straight into it. So when I start my bouquets, I always have a really loose hand. You use your hand like a vase, and you just lay crisscrossing, that's what I do anyway, you can do it any way you like, in your hand, just to start getting that nest feel within your bouquet. So I'm just going to use that Italian ruscus to start with. It's going to fall, it's going to roll around, but you will use the shape of it and then shift it and do whatever you need to do. So that's sort of getting that overall shape there that I'm looking for. Then I'm going to feed in some of the Israeli ruscus. I've seen this Israeli ruscus, like if there was a beautiful burgundy tones and using the quicksand, spraying this a burgundy colour looks fantastic. It really gives you a depth of colour throughout your bouquet. You can spray anything in your flowers to make it the tones that you're wanting. So you don't have to just put up with the colours that you get. So you can really make everything quite unique and classical. So that's where I'm going to start with that for my nest. Then I'm going to start building on it with some of the star fern to see where I can get the angles to start flowing. And then the bouquet is going to talk to you really, and then you roughly have an idea of what you think you're going to make it look like. And then you work with the flowers that you have. So that you can see that beautiful star fern already giving it a beautiful shape and a depth. And then I'm going to start adding my roses. Remember to keep your hand nice and loose, and you'll find the shape that your bouquet will take. The whimsical feel is nothing that is too solid. It's really taking the flow of the roses, the flow of the bouquet, and just, it's like almost like you've gone into the garden, you've picked it and put it together, and it looks quite easy to do, but we all know as florists that it actually takes a little bit more cunning and nous to know where to start placing things to get the depth, the feel, the flow, all those fun words. So I'm just going to start popping a few of those roses in there, and it's starting to give me a little bit of shape in which way I'm going to start rolling with the bouquet. If I was to put this down and start again, I'd start it completely different. It will start to flow completely different, and then just go with it. So nothing is perfect. It's not, floristry is not paint by numbers. It's really comes down to your ability and your vision, and how well you know how to work with flowers. So just start popping it in. This is going to be, haven't worked out which side is going to be the front of the bouquet and which is the back, but what I'm going to do is make sure that it's easy to lay down both sides, because we all know that a bride will pick up and put down the bouquet 12 million times before they even get to the wedding, with all the flower photos and things first. So it's really making it as sturdy and as usable as possible. So stick them up and down. I'm going to start filling it with just a couple of the carnations down lower to give it a bit of lower depth down there, because then you're building up and it starts to take on a really gorgeous romantic shape. Put a few this way. I'm going to take one of my beautiful disbuds. When you're popping flowers into your hand here, you will get stuck. I can see that disbud there, it's actually got a fall on it. It's actually not going to fit that hole. if I was going to put it there, it's going to hit into this, so it's not going to be the right one. That would probably be a better one for down the front or something. So you work with the product that you have, you get a nicer, straighter one, and I'd put that one in that hole there. Okay, so I'm going to spin the bouquet. I normally do a flop. There we go, I've just broken that. Look at that, it's a buttonhole, everybody. And then I'm going to start working on the back side of this, or the front side. We're going to see which side we like the best in the end. Both will look spectacular, but one will have its clear winner in the end. That's how I do it. So I'm just going to pop those through. Remember to spin your stems as you put them through your fingers, so they go into place, because sometimes they'll get stuck on the other stems of the other bouquets. And it's still quite easy to hold. It's actually a very light bouquet. I've seen some bouquets getting around that are magnificent, but they are certainly very heavy. And you got to keep the bride in mind. She's got to hold that for a long time. So I'm going to pop that little wonky donkey disc bud there at the front. And then I'm going to put a few of these gorgeous carnations coming out the side. Another one just up in through here. And you've got to know when enough is enough too, because you can really overdo it and then make it look a little bit overdone. I'm going to put a couple more of these beautiful disposals here. I want that ruscus to be down. I don't want it to be up high. So I'm just going to push that down with my hand. The Italian ruscus is so flexible. I absolutely love it. So going out this way with that little this one. That rose will fall into place once I put my hand a little bit tighter. Another little bit above that side. You see the formation coming into that bouquet now, and it's becoming quite beautiful. It was always going to be beautiful for roses, flowers, they generally are. You can put, you can't put everything together and make it good. Sometimes it's like it doesn't work. Classic flowers put together, you'll never go wrong with. Beautiful. Coming along quite beautifully, in my opinion. I'm going to grab another little bit of stargrass, starfern. Pop that down low to cover up the workings. Now, if this is too woolly, remember you can cut it like a hairdresser does and thins your hair. You can also do that with your fern, with your greenery and stuff like that. Just because that's the way that you've got it doesn't mean that's the way you have to have it. You have to think like an engineer and an artist. And you need to make the structure strong. You need to make sure that can get jumped around, that can get thrown around, and it doesn't fall apart. It's going to last the whole day. It's going to last 8 hours getting picked up, put down, thrown about. The stems, thank God, are clean stems, so you can actually have the bride put them in water when she doesn't need to use that. But as you can see, that's coming along quite beautifully. Actually, I won't put that in because that's going to be overkill. I think I just want on this side here, just to have a little bit more something filled out this way. If you can see that side's quite filled, this side is quite filled, but in here is a little bit of a hole. And I think from that angle you still need just something just to balance the bouquet. So I'm going to use the last two of the carnations. These will be hard to get through because the stem count in there now is quite a lot. I'm just going to fiddle with that. Make sure it comes out the right way. And even just putting that one more in there so far is amazing. Now this is where your brain starts to fiddle with it, and you just want to play with it all day long. So you just got to stop yourself, because sometimes your first version is the best version. Sometimes you can do it 10 times and it's still not going to be right. That's when you need to put it all down, go have a glass of wine, that's looking really good. I've got a little bit more star fern up here that I might use, just to feel clean under here. It's quite beautiful. Now I'm going to cable tie that because I feel like I'm done. So I'm just going to give that a, for me, when you're a bride, you don't want your stems to be too long, in my opinion. It's going to get caught on your dress. You want to be able to hold your bouquet down beside you or just any which way. So you want your hand here, I'd say probably another 5 centimetres down lower. Some people go longer, completely up to you, the bride, and see how you go. But for me, I'm just going to go a little bit, one hand's length under it. And I'll tie that with a cable tie. Just like that. It's really quite easy to do that. Gives it clean workings. There you go. Fruit's probably the most fiddly part of the whole thing. And just tighten that to the tightness that you want it. So that's not even really tight work, that's just tight loose and beautiful. So I'm going to trim those stems up. Remove my buttonhole. And that to me is a fantastic bridal bouquet. You know it's well made because it's standing on its own. That's a true indicator that you've made a good job. It's standing on its own. It didn't take me too long. The heavens have opened. It's smiling on us. That's my take on a quick white wedding bouquet. I hope you enjoyed that. I will make some more things up as I go along. But yeah, have a great day everybody.